Hello fellow reefers, Fragbox TV here, and we're just going to do a quick update on the cheapest 5-gallon Nano Reef. Ta-da! Mr. Diggsy, what's up, puppy? Okay, let's see what's going on with this reef tank. So in the last episode, we were dealing with some algae issues. Specifically, I think they were dinos? No, diatoms. Okay, quick little getting sidetracked for the video. This is kind of a cool new product that we have here in the store. So it's this reef soap, and it's 100% organic and reef safe. So you can wash your hands before throwing your hands in the tank. If you're going to work on your aquarium, you can make sure that your hands are 100% clean and that you're not going to contaminate anything. So that's kind of a cool new product we have, 100% handmade reef soap. So that's available now in the store or online. Okay, so 5-gallon here is our cheapest aquarium, our cheapest nano tank. And in the last episode, we were dealing with some algae issues, specifically, I think, diatoms, and they've cleared up a ton. It's only been a week. We do still have some issues here. So you can see they are covering the Kenya tree. The leather is not terribly happy. And the Confusa was quite affected. The LPS corals still look okay, but I think the vast majority of it has cleared up. Really, I should take a turkey baster and just blow this off the piece here or suck it out. So manual removal will definitely help. But we loaded the tank up with a bunch of cleanup crew. So I used Astrea snails. I think we added about half a dozen of those, a couple hermit crabs, and Nassarius snails. So those are kind of cool. They're like these snails that actually sift through the sand. So they would help disturb the sand bed and upset the algae. And then to kill it and stop it from growing back, what we did here in the little hang on the back filter we're using, we threw in a bag of Roaphos, which is GFO. Let me show you exactly what that is and why we used it to beat the diatom bloom. So that's this stuff right here. This is good for up to 100 gallons. So I used almost nothing, just tied it in a bag. This company is kind of cool because when you buy it, they actually give you the bag included. You don't have to go out and buy a separate bag. And basically what this does is it removes phosphates and silicates from the water. And this is the big one here. The silicates are feeding that algae, and so by sucking them up, we're starving it, and then it doesn't have a chance to grow. And we added a little bit of carbon just to sort of break down the nutrients. It's very common with new reef tanks to go through sort of algae blooms, diatoms, cyanos, dinos, all these annoying kind of algae. But I find that once you beat them, they don't really come back. Even hair algae, it's almost like the tank becomes immune to them. The bacteria and the rocks just continue to become more live, and the aquarium almost starts to take care of itself. I know it's hard to explain exactly. There's a little bit of PFM going on there, what I like to call pure fucking magic. So as the tank gets older, it does get easier. Unfortunately, this Confusa here, the Montipora Confusa, it's showing some tissue recession at the bottom. The polyps are still out, but I'm actually really surprised by this. This green goddess bird's nest is doing pretty well. All the other corals look really good. This Yuma or Rhodactis, I think here is not too happy, maybe getting too much light, but I'm seeing tremendous growth on the GSP. The Zoas on the other side look good. Everything's looking pretty much good. I think this series is kind of coming to a close. We're on episode 7 now. Maybe we'll do one more next week, so the tank will be set up then for 2 months. If you guys got any ideas for the final video for this is the cheapest nano reef tank that we could make, I kind of want to turn this thing off. And then I'm big on projects. Like, I have some mild ADHD and I like to keep busy, so I always want to be doing something. And building tanks is probably my favorite part of the hobby. After farming and growing corals, I love designing and building new systems, picking out equipment, putting it all together. Starting with a sketch and an idea and then actually making that come to life. That's one of my favorite things about this entire hobby. So that being said, I really want to set up this new JBJ10. We did a unboxing sort of first impression review on it, and I'm not really sure what the exact plan for it is. Maybe we can do like the opposite of this tank. This whole series here was supposed to be setting up the cheapest nano reef tank possible and showing how that can be done on a budget. Maybe we do the opposite. We'll do this one as a baller, tricked out Ecotech, Radion Lit, Apex controlled, AI Nero, little 10-gallon monstrosity, just like the most baller little tank. I don't know, just throwing ideas. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'd really appreciate, you know, you guys really help us out when you the ideas or whatever you guys think we should talk about here in the videos. It goes a long way, so I really appreciate all the comments. One little idea I just had, the tank was actually doing better with just one fish, and then we went and introduced a second one here, this cute little Ocellaris clownfish, and because of that we started feeding quite a bit more, because now we're trying to feed 2 fish, and I feed heavy because I'm used to feeding on larger tanks, and I think that's sort of why we ran into these algae issues with the tank, because when you overfeed you run into problems with nitrates and phosphates and silicates, and then you end up feeding the algae. The water is really clear. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but like here in person, it just looks like the fish is floating in air. I think that's because of the carbon that we're running in the back. And if you want to know which one we're using, so it's this brand right here, Kolar Carbon. I really like this brand. It's very inexpensive and also very effective. So it's very strong stuff and it's easy on the wallet. So look out for this brand. Very good stuff. That's what we're using here on this tank. That's how we're getting that crazy water clarity. But yeah, I think that's about it for this tank and this whole series about setting up the cheapest tank. So if you guys got any questions about nano reefs or about starting reef tanks or about corals or about where you should place your pulsing xenia, hit us up. I'll leave our contact info at the end of the video like I normally do. But thank you very much for watching this series. And don't forget to subscribe to Fragbox TV, and if you want to see more video series like this, or if you have any ideas for stuff like this, just hit us up in the comments below. Thanks again for watching, and happy reefing.